Alright guys, Forsaken is doing way more for the Azure update than anyone expected, including brand new anime-inspired skins, major quality of life changes, and much more. Let's get into it! Now with the Azure update getting closer and closer, we're starting to see even more fan-made skins being revealed, and honestly, there are a bunch of them that nobody really recognizes. At first, everyone was talking about the mysterious question mark skin, but now another completely different teaser has been shown off, and it even came alongside its own background chase theme. One of the most interesting things about it is the quote, "Do you believe in gravity?" At first glance, it doesn't really reveal much, but no, the person who actually modeled the skin confirmed that this is related to the original question mark teaser people were discussing. Even Speeds has mentioned that this is basically one of the best skins currently being added to the game. Surprisingly, this mystery skin is actually for Nosferatu, something almost nobody expected. Considering how long Nosferatu has gone without receiving many skins, this is finally the moment a lot of players have been waiting for. The quote itself immediately caught people's attention because it's actually a reference to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, specifically the character Dio Brando. Since Dio is also a vampire, it makes perfect sense that this crossover-inspired skin would go to Nosferatu. With the new render of Nosferatu, that pose looks almost identical to Dio's iconic stance, making the inspiration even more obvious. What makes this even cooler is that Guest already has a JoJo-inspired sailor skin, meaning the developers could have some fun interactions planned between the two. Players are already speculating that both characters could receive a brand new LMS theme whenever they face each other. Others have even suggested that Dio uses Za Warudo whenever the start of an LMS happens between him and Sailor, to where all the colors get changed, which Forsaken have already implemented with a private server character called Noob the World, so they can easily implement this effect for this skin. Whether any of that actually happens remains to be seen, but it definitely shows just how excited the community already is. Many players are even saying this could become their favorite Nosferatu skin in the entire game. With returning skins like Werewolf also expected to make a comeback, Nosferatu fans are finally getting the attention they've wanted ever since the killer first released. Another Azure skin that was teased featured the quote "the many flowers." Alongside it were two different renders showing what appears to be an Anubis-inspired design. Although some players think it resembles a pharaoh even more than Anubis, the overall reception has been extremely positive, with many excited that another unique skin is finally making its way into the update. On top of all that, something completely unexpected was discovered inside Forsaken itself. A brand new Azure Pack Game Pass was uploaded costing 799 Robux. Naturally, players immediately started wondering whether this is going to be an exclusive bundle containing Azure skins or something entirely different. Leo Lopez, one of the community contributors responsible for a lot of Azure's GFX and VFX work, even responded with an eye emoji, strongly suggesting they helped create whatever this pack contains. Most players are hoping this doesn't mean Azure itself is locked behind an 800 Robux purchase. Instead, many believe this will simply be a fast-track bundle for players who don't want to grind through the event, while everyone else can still unlock Azure normally. Even so, plenty of players feel that nearly 800 Robux is a very expensive price tag and hope there are free ways to obtain most of the content. With all of these reveals, it's becoming clear that Azure isn't just introducing a new character, it's bringing what could easily become some of the highest quality skins Forsaken has ever released. Nosferatu is finally getting the attention fans have wanted for months, and with even more reveals still to come, this update continues to get bigger than anyone expected. Will you be picking up these new skins? Alongside all of the Azure reveals, there are also a bunch of quality of life changes coming to Forsaken, and one killer in particular is finally getting some much needed help. That killer is Slasher. For a long time now, Slasher has struggled against experienced survivors because of how easy it is to loop him around certain parts of the maps. Instead of directly buffing his abilities, though, the developers have decided to tackle the actual problem by changing the maps themselves. One of the biggest changes is happening on the Cool Kid map, where several walls have been opened up to create more paths for Slasher to move through. This should make it much easier for him to catch survivors instead of constantly getting stuck running around the same obstacles. Another major adjustment is being made to the graveyard section of Yorick's resting place, which has also been opened up to reduce some of the frustrating looping spots that players have been abusing for months. Naturally, both Slasher and Noli mains are pretty happy with these changes, as looping has been one of the biggest complaints surrounding these maps. Most players agree that removing a few of the strongest loops is completely fair, as long as the developers don't go too far. If every single looping spot disappeared, survivors without certain abilities would have almost no way to defend themselves. From what we've seen so far, it looks like the developers are trying to strike a balance by removing the most problematic loops while still leaving enough counterplay for survivors. Even with these improvements, players are already asking for more maps to receive similar treatment. One location that gets mentioned a lot is the Glass Houses map, especially the looping spot on the right-hand side, which many players feel is still far too strong. While opinions are mixed, most people seem happy that the developers are focusing on improving gameplay rather than simply buffing or nerfing characters directly. Another interesting quality of life update doesn't actually affect gameplay at all, but it does make one killer feel much more intimidating. John Doe is finally getting a size increase. Before this change, he was actually smaller than Cool Kid and noticeably shorter than Sixer, which didn't really fit his role as a powerful brute. Now, his model has been scaled up significantly, making him much taller and much more imposing whenever he appears in a match. When comparing the old and new versions side by side, skins like Aberrant benefit the most from this change. The larger model makes him feel far more threatening and much closer to what players expected from the character in the first place. Some players are even hoping Slasher eventually receives a similar treatment so he better resembles Jason Voorhees and feels just as intimidating during matches. These quality of life improvements might seem small individually, but together they should make Forsaken feel much smoother to play. Whether it's reducing frustrating loops or making killers look more imposing, it's good to see the developers polishing the game while preparing for the AZURE update. Do you think these changes are enough, or are there still more maps and killers that need improving? With all of these anime-inspired skins starting to appear in Forsaken, like the brand new Nosferatu skin and several other references already in the game, players have started sharing even more concepts that would fit the game perfectly. One of the biggest fan favorites is a Chainsaw Man-inspired skin created by Slab, and honestly, it looks like something that could already be an official Slasher skin. The concept transforms Slasher into Machete Man, giving him 2 large machetes while still keeping Slasher's overall appearance recognizable. The design even changes his Necrobloxicon, and whenever Raging Pace is activated, his eyes begin glowing, making the skin feel far more intimidating. It's clear that a huge amount of effort went into recreating the character while still making it fit naturally inside Forsaken. Players have even begun imagining a matching Survivor skin to go alongside it. With a fan concept having Guest's counterpart based on Kishib, that should have a custom kill animation if it ever releases. With it taking inspiration from Fujimoto's Captain America artwork, with Guest turning into a devilish patriot. Instead of using his fists when punching, he actually would use a rifle that functions the same way, and he uses his head as a shield while charging, and even has unique animations and visual effects that activate as he loses health. Seeing concepts like these makes it feel as though they're already part of the game. With Forsaken continuing to add skins based on popular references in anime, many players believe concepts with this much creativity deserve a chance to become official. Should more anime skins come in the future? So Forsaken have a lot more coming than we even knew. Are you ready for this massive update? Subscribe and hit the bell for more Forsakening it.